when you're negotiating a budget with financiers or production companies, you really have to know what you are doing, and you really have to tell them what they are getting into. You have to be completely candid. Otherwise, the problems will accumulate massively. And I'm always trying to keep attorneys out of discussions. It was very interesting, the discourse I had with Werner, Millennium Films, for The Bad Lieutenant. And I met him for the first time in my life, and he was with an entourage at 5, and I was alone. And I asked, is there an attorney here? And one said, yes, I'm the legal counsel of the production company. And I said, could you please only listen in and I don't want to chase you out. Listen in, do your counseling afterwards. I do not want to have attorneys negotiate. That's the end of everything. When you, I never, and I advise you, never, ever, ever, ever let attorneys negotiate. You negotiate yourself, or an agent may negotiate if you're not feeling right to negotiate yourself. The attorneys are poison for negotiations, and everybody knows that. Sometimes in my very last film on the internet, I only had a handshake, like in the old days, a handshake. And those contracts are more solid. In every single case, I've only functioned on a handshake. If you have a 140-page contract with about your directing, you know this spells disaster. And it always, the longer the contract gets, the more you are prone of running into trouble. And everybody predicted to me, this will end in a failure. You cannot deal with such a beast of the industry. And I said, let the beasts come. They are human beings, and they also have some sort of vision. Deal with them. Be responsible. Make yourself familiar with the legal basic concepts. It's not that you have to learn every term. You have to understand the concepts. You have to understand legal terms. You have to know what you are getting into. You really have to know. I had a contract offered where it said, I'm here work for hire. And I said to the attorney, work for hire is unacceptable for me because it means that I have absolutely no right. I can be fired at any moment and replaced by anyone at any moment. My footage can be used because I have nice landscapes. They can be used in a perfume advertisement, for example. It can be butchered. It can be spliced into YouTube clips. You can do anything you want. And the attorney was sitting in front of me, and he just was completely frozen. I said, can you at least nod? He did not even nod. But I knew if I signed work for hire, it meant a lot of consequences where you have no position at all. In my discussion with Millennium Film, I said to them, and it was already 6 p.m., I said to them, those are the things that I need to have in the contract. Who is my cinematographer? I have to have my own choice. Composer, editor, sound person, a few things. They have to be in the contract, and I name them. And you have voiced some certain special ideas, have them in a contract. And I said to the attorney, I turned to him and I said, why don't you take a standard contract? There's page after page after page about transfers of rights and delivery items, and you just name it. Take one of those standard contracts and put in just those few specific demands of either side. And you can do it in half an hour. And I said, I would appreciate I would appreciate if I had the contract, if you really want to do the film with me, I would appreciate if by tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning, somebody brings a contract for signature. And at 8 o'clock, a messenger rings and brings a contract and wants to leave. And I said, stay. And I looked through the contract less than 10 minutes and signed it and sent the messenger back with my signed contract. If you do not have a deal within 48 hours, within 2 days, you won't have the deals in 2 years either. There has to be something that brings you together, an urgency, a vision, an excitement, and you will get into business. Sometimes with actors, I really want to have one actor, and I tell the actor, I have no choice. It's you, I really see you in this role, and you will be wonderful. It's something you will be really wonderful in. My budget is very limited, and I will offer your agent a budget which is certainly lower than you will get. And in case of Christian Bale, he had just finished Batman, and his fee was very, very high. And I said to Christian, I have to offer your agent a fee which is way, 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 way under this. But I really would love to have you there. And he said, I want to work with you. That's the only important thing. So I spoke to the agent and I said, this is our budget and this is what I can offer. And I cannot even negotiate. I cannot, if you want 10% more, I give you the limit that I have. So this is what I'd like to do. And normally, if you have a fire within you and a conviction within you, and on the other end, the actor really wanting to work with you on this project, then you will have a deal. It will come together. If you are vague and if you don't know, and if it's not this one, oh yeah, there are 50 other actors who could replace that one. Christian Bale cannot be replaced. And you will find these people. If you have a real beautiful project, negotiations about money, about timing, about, God knows, the perks, per diems, all this is gonna work out somehow. It will fall in place in the wake of the big dynamic that we are creating.